Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play Obsession. This time we're going to go around to do the Jeff's route on day 1 and see what goes on to day 2 when we meet Jeff instead of Jack. Let's begin. You're dead tired of falling asleep on the only bus that takes you back to your ranch. Meaning our house. You can feel someone getting closer. They fiddle with the ID badge you forgot to unpin earlier. You keep your eyes shut, hearing nothing but their crappy giggles. They're definitely clowning on your name. Wait, what even is my name? YN, because I'm being lazy. YN, I forgot that's what people call me. And am I a... It's kind of confusing because you don't actually click on it. And that's exactly the thing that they're screaming laughing at right now. God, why is my name so damn stupid? I'm such a joke. Your eyes are closed, pretending to be asleep, so you can hear everything they're saying. Think your choices through carefully. Every action has consequences. Some will only will fetching, while others can get you killed. If fetching starts at 0, dead neutral. It's on you if they end up wanting to kill you or keep you. You finally make it back to that old house by the woods, bone tired and completely drained. Living in the middle of nowhere means you're always the last one off the ride. Flying off my feet. Today sucked. Just like always, dealing with NPCs and their idiotic questions all day. Plus the manager's on a massive power trip. God, I hate her guts. If they're on a power trip, they could get us fired. Just be careful. I hate that life I'm living right now. But it's not like I have the energy to do anything else. I got ideas, hopes, and dreams, but nah, I don't even think about reaching them anymore. I'm just surviving until Friday at this point. I just keep thinking, all I want to do is just crash and zone out for a bit. But I can't even get that right. Maybe if I was alone in this, things wouldn't be so messed up. Just somebody who gets me, tells me, stays by my side, and makes me feel real. I have no one. Everyone is just acquaintance. You're just staring into nothingness, paralyzed, as the suffocating heat rips through your chest, and you can't do a damn thing to stop it. Then you just break down and start crying. It's crazy how the little things used to make me so happy back then. I had it all, and now I'm just stuck here, agreeing to survive a life I didn't ask for. I don't even have time for those tiny moments of joy anymore. You sink back into the mattress, and as the burnout hits, your vision starts to fade to black. I just want to sleep. For good this time. You close your eyes and feel everything around you begin to fade away. Then, at last, you drift off into heavy, deep sleep. You're out cold, you start dreaming that maybe, when you wake up, you finally get a chance to just end it. Or get a total do-over by easy guy. Out of nowhere, you catch those weird sounds heading right to you. They're getting on you. Your eyelids feel like lead. But you force them open. There's probably nothing. But you can't take any chances. Finally, your eyes pop open and it hits you. Those footsteps are legit. You slowly creep up to a sitting position, holding your breath to hear it better. They're laughing and voices mutter back and forth until they trash your tiny cabin. You can hear them rifling through the doors. Bro, gotta be kidding me. This place is a total bust. Nothing here but empty snack bags and straight up garbage. Then you hear those footsteps coming right for you. Having no door right now is a total nightmare. The thought crawls through your mind. You just sit there on your bed, paralyzed. Well, they keep closing in on you, so you ease your right foot onto the floor. But the second you try to get up, the floorboard creaks loudly. Bang! A shot just whizzes past you, ripping a hole right through the curtain that you got for a door. You shut your eyes tight, not letting yourself think. You're dead tired and your feet are trashed, but you don't care. You just book it for the exit. Bad news, there's no cover and no house close enough to help. Heading for a neighborhood would turn you into target practice in a wide open field. Your shot is the woods. It's a death trap, but it's all you got. You know your butt now, hearing the footsteps behind you and the crack of gunfire. A round grazes your left arm and it burns like heck, but you don't stop. You can't stop. For a second, you think you lost them, so you pause to catch your breath. I kind of forgot that I got shot. Then you realize the path is gone. Just trees and more trees. You can either head up the hill to the left or go down the slope to the right. Where to? Right. Going right seemed like the best bet. If I were him, I would scout uphill. But I can't remember seeing something out there. Out there. The downstream, where the current goes, there's actually civilization. Maybe I could find someone to help me. I guess so. You want to keep going? Yes. I'm so tired, my feet are killing me. I hope I run into someone decent. Or Jeff. I'm cursed, I swear. Might as well start praying before things get even worse. This Chuck guy hasn't done anything for me. I seriously need a miracle right now. At Comic-Con, I met Rob, so I have to. He was a sweetheart. You glue your eyes to the dirt just to make sure you don't trip. It won't be a tragedy to die from a single misstep after everything you've been through. You continue making your way down the mountain. Your head starts to spin from sheer exhaustion, grinding since sunrise, lugging heavy junk and putting up with a pile of fossils. It's killing you. Oh, that's normal Tuesday. Add that to having to run for your life back there. Your body's curling on the verge of collapsing. My body will be just aching instead of collapsing. My adrenaline will be over there on top, going, I can't rest. I once had 40 hours no sleep, so I think I'll be good. And then you fall. I'm trying to think if I had more than that, but it was emergency. Your body has reached its limit. God, I hope nothing finds me in this state. I just hope morning comes soon. Once I wake up, I could get out of here and call for help. It'll be so pathetic to die without even catching a glimpse of my opponent. Your mind grows foggy. In between dreams, you can hear footsteps approaching, until a splitting headache starts to tear through your skull. Someone's yanking you by the hair. Oh, a body! A corpse? They went easy on her. Not a drop of blood or bone in sight. Who did such a crappy job? You hear a mocking male voice, as it speaks and keeps pulling your hair like you're a rag doll, until you stop moving and feel a sharp pain in your head. Well, I guess she died all alone. Did she kill her? Did she RP herself? How pathetic. No, I'm still alive, Jeff. That voice, definitely not the cabin guy. But it's not like it sounds like a good person either. A normal person would be freaking out over a body in the middle of the woods. Yeah, Jeff's not normal. By any stretch. Standard protocol is calling 911, right? Still, they might be your only shot at getting out of this. Escape! You were so terrified that at the exact moment you stopped hearing that person, you bolted, running without care where you were going. If they were a good person, they would have been worried, or at least just walked on by. They wouldn't have done what they did. So you stopped thinking and just ran. It didn't matter how tired you were, or how much your feet hurt. Nothing mattered. Feeling the danger, your body pumped out adrenaline, enough to keep you running for a while, until you simply couldn't take any more. You went against a tree to catch your breath, open your eyes bit by bit. Well, at least I escaped another psycho. I guess there's a reason they call it Forbidden Forest. This place might just be crawling with psychos. I especially need to rest. Just a second. Before you can even finish your sentence, something touches your shoulder. A warmth you felt vanishes a second. A horrible chill violently rushes through your body. Your breathing quickens so much that you don't even know how to gasp for air anymore. It's like you've forgotten how to breathe properly. You don't want to look back. I don't want to look. Did that guy run after me? Hey, you. Then the steep, booming voice hits you. You try to gasp for air, to scream, but a sickening stench floods your nose. The foul smell of rotting flesh mixed with metal evading your senses. Can you hear me? I already know. If you can hear me, I already know. You slowly look back to face whoever is talking to you. What are you doing here anyway? Oh, we're gonna do Alice Jack. You don't look like you're from around here, especially since you're heading straight into my territory. What? Don't tell me you're one of those idiots who live in the edge of the woods. You have no idea how dangerous it is to come in here. That gray skin isn't human. You look him up and down with a blank stare, frozen without even tilting your head. The worst part is, you look at his hand and he's holding something. You look closer. His clothes are covered in blood and stains of questionable origin. Then his hand. What you thought was some fidget toy, a rock, or something else. It's not. He's not holding a toy. It looks like a kidney. Slowly, your eyes move to his jaw, where fresh blood is dripping down. You pray to God, or Chuck, that whoever died in his hands wasn't human, that it belonged to some animal big enough to have a kidney that size. Oh, it's human. See you gonna spill? What are you doing? Heading towards my place anyway. Are you stupid? I don't want anyone hanging around here, got it? You're lucky I'm satisfied with what I found earlier. Understood. The monster spits out, circling your forehead with a blood-stained finger. Your brain is completely short-circuited. You barely caught his words, but the meaning just spills away. It's not that he's mumbled. Your mind is just frozen, pure terror. You start shivering, and that cold vibe gets straight up heckish. You're completely paralyzed. You're screaming your lungs out inside your head, but your body just won't cooperate. The perfect divine machine of your body is completely correct. Oh, just Bruce squeaked. Everything goes blurry as your eyes fill with tears, and you're left completely powerless. You just weep, wide-eyed, completely frozen. And then you're dropped right back down. A loud ring echoes your ears. You don't feel anything, just peace. Maybe everything that happened is just a dream. Yeah, it has to be. Someone just clocked you. Mom, 5 more minutes. This time, they seriously clocked you. No way that was your mom. Oh, never mind. You never know. Could be your mom. And just like that, your eyes snap open. Well, look who's finally awake. Took you like 5 minutes, and I don't have all day. For real, though. I'm full. You're making yourself eat such easy prey, I almost couldn't hold myself back. I could devour you right now. But it's not like I'm gonna get indigestion from overeating. And once again, you could be clueless about what's being said. Devour you? Please, if I want to, you'd be gone by now. Indigestion? Can that thing even get sick from eating humans? Hold up, what? Sorry, hey, I'm sorry, It looks like they won't even let you speak, cutting you off over and over again. Yeah, whatever. Just get out. I don't have a fridge or organs. I'm not letting this place smell like a goddamn morgue again. Your eyes are closed, but you're conscious. Your mind projects images that feel real, not at all like a simple dream. You're walking through a dense forest. You don't know where you're going, but you continue to walk until you reach a tunnel. You begin to hear a ringing that hurts your head terribly. It feels like someone's hitting your stomach, enough to leave you breathless and feeling the need to cough. Where am I, you think? You don't know where you are, but you know one thing. You're far from home. You finally open your eyes. You lay on the soft bed in a room that is lightly illuminated. It looks old, and there are red stains, blood. I don't want to imagine what that might be, you think. I already know what is. And it's definitely not jam. You begin to stand up, but a flash of images you saw in your dream takes your bounce, and you are forced to sit down to replicate. You get twinge of pain in your head, and you try to remember. When did that happen? But you can't remember. That memory is blocked like a dense fog. Before you can try to rack your head for answers, something interrupts your thoughts. Loud noises outside the room you find yourself in, yelling. I need to get out of here. This doesn't look good. I don't know I can trust in them. Analyze the room you're in. You sit in a comfy mattress on the floor of the room. The floor is wood, and the walls, although a bit raw and stained with red. So are the walls, although that's a bit raw and stained with red. You see a desk on the other side of the room. On top was a plate of bread with jam. To the side, set a glass of milk. Close by is the door. Your arm still hurts a lot, but not like earlier. Right, I was shot. With this energy, I can't defend myself. What do I do? Okay, this time I'm gonna look at the desk. Your stomach growls and your mouth feels dry. You gap carefully to avoid making noise. They're not sure that's possible, and you walk closer to the desk. You haven't eaten anything since the early morning of yesterday. Your eyes look upon the bread with desire. I think eating something of a shady source isn't smart. You pick up the bread. It's hard. It takes some time before deciding to give it a bite. The taste and sensation is strange. Fried blood. It's definitely not jam. You're unable to trust something within yourself. They need to trend with you're unable to trust something within yourself that you need to trend with caution. You take another bite softly. Still a little hard, but it's better than nothing, and you continue to eat. You take a gulp of milk and swallow the bread. It's not as bad as I thought, although it's not that good either. At least it calms your hunger. The first, though it's not enough to feel completely better. You then sit back down on the mattress. You're scared, terrified even. The voices you're hearing seem to be defying, to which your fear begins to fester within you. But to stay here waiting isn't a good idea either. It may be dangerous, but there could be a chance to escape. Will they keep fighting? Y'all get up from the bed and walk towards the door. You stop to listen better, but you can't understand what they're saying. You just know that the majority of the voices are masculine and they're fighting. I need to sneak away well enough not to be seen. I don't think I can be alone with all of them, or any of them. Well, maybe bed. You decide it's better to leave the situation than stay waiting for something to happen. If something potentially dangerous, you can escape discreetly while they fight. You open the door cautiously to make a little noise as possible. You leave the room with soft footsteps. The wooden doors feel dirty below your bare feet. You head to where the source of yelling is coming from. Well, you continue to make light footsteps, the same ones you take to escape the annoyed client, into the back room, the employee-only room. You hear the sound of the shouts coming from the downstairs. First, you descend the splintered wooden stairs. You're not able to see much as you continue to go down. I'll step down carefully, very carefully. I hope I don't make too much noise, but the volume of their voices will hide me anyways. You step down the stairs with caution. Each step you take is a big effort to make a minimal noise. They don't know if that's possible. Before you reach the last step, you decide to turn to where the loud noises are. You see a group of people fighting. I think I'm starting to regret this. You go down the stairs with a little more stealth. Just look, anyone else that walked in the force would be said to be the perfect victim. Said the woman who pointed at you when you reached the last step. Looks like you weren't as sneaky as you thought, but you were as quiet as you could be. I thought we would be told ahead of time, after what happened last time. Really? I already forgot. Last time was pretty fun. You stand motionless as you look at the room. You thought for a moment that what you saw was a product of your imagination. Around the table were guys wearing masks, a girl with extremely pale skin, and mouth cut into a smile, and an elf with a green get-up that's also floating. It's like, yeah, that's been... You feel a small pulse of pain in your head, and you try to return to where you were previously with your head down. I think I left something in the room. This has to be a dream, right? This feels so real. Okay, maybe this is one of those where you think you're awake, but you're actually sleeping. Yeah, that has to be, otherwise that's really crazy. Hey, where do you think you're going? Yelled a man with a white mask, with a man with a yellow hoodie, holding your shoulders and guiding you to the table. You don't know how they're at, so you obey and walk. I won't put so much importance on if someone took responsibility instead of blaming everyone else. Right, just like you, we were the only ones that didn't fulfill the agreement like a certain person. Said the man with the white mask, anger laced his voice as he hit his palm against the table. His eyes peered through his mask. Each person has their motives for being upset, though some of us have stupid motives. Said the yellow-hooded man. He puts a hand on the shorter man's shoulder, turning towards the girl as the boy with goggles and muzzle that's outside. His hand touches his neck. His eyes look elsewhere. Wow, all this is caused by some random human girl, a freak with terrible taste. When he turns to you, he gives you an unsettling gaze. Terrible taste? Guess I could technically gone no in one route. I've forgotten tunnel. Are you sure this is the best place to take photos? What a bad taste. I kind of want to go back and see everyone's route. Glitches appear. New scenes of your life that seem to have been added without your knowledge. You begin to cough again. You touch your chest as your heart accelerates. You nor feel the penetrating gaze, but now the feeling that you're about to vomit. Once again, the sense of your life seemed to be added without knowledge. without your knowledge. Each cough comes out violently to the point where you can feel your throat going to come out soon. You begin to tremble. The ring is still blaring. You support yourself with the table as you feel you're going to fall again. And yet your eyelids are heavy as lead. The pain in your head is constant, preventing you from thinking clearly until slowly the world focuses. It's a little different. It is. It's Toby this time, in front of you, basically invading your personal space with someone. As you open your eyes, you notice the man tense and let out a small sound of surprise escape. I'm sorry, I didn't. His voice sounded raspy, wood with an old weariness that reflects in the dark circles under his eyes. He speaks in broken, uninterrupted words because of what seems to be a tick in his neck. He suddenly steps back, pulling out a pair of strange glasses, and a muzzle. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I was just checking if you hurt yourself more. You're making your pain expressions while you slept. I didn't touch you. Really, I didn't touch anything. I swear, if that's what you were thinking. He avoids your gaze, turning his head away from a mix of nervousness caused by your silence and his own shyness. You watch him, adjusting his metal muzzle, hiding part of his face, a silence born from your distrust. And well, I was expecting you to actually eat what I made for you. Sorry if it looked like a childish breakfast. I didn't have much time. Oh, it's because we ate the breakfast. So we do the other one. I think we'll have a different eating too. Those are the kinds of breakfast I used to eat often. I never had enough time to make myself something rapid in the mornings. So it was always just a piece of bread with whatever I could find, you'd think, smiling a little. By the way, sorry about the mess you saw in the living room. No one was expecting you to arrive today, and you really surprised us. Yeah, I think that was because of a certain someone called Slenderman just teleporting us there. I'm not saying that you're not welcome. Actually, sooner or later, we're going to end up here anyway. So you just sped up the process. He says in a nervous tone. End up here sooner or later? You ever think what he just said for a moment? You have so many questions, but at the same time, you also want to thank him for caring enough to give you something to eat. Thank you for the breakfast. So were you the one who made what was on the desk? Yes, I was. I'm not that good at cooking. Besides, I didn't have time to prepare anything else because they started arguing. I had no choice but to stay there because of them. Oh, your cooking's not that bad. Could be a lot worse. A lot worse. Thanks. I usually eat breakfast like that most of the time. They're delicious and quick to make. You try to be kind and seem trustworthy enough. That way you have a better chance at getting them to get their guard down, even for a second, so you could escape. Though without warning, a tear rolls down your cheek, a sign of terror. They feel that they might kill you. I'm sorry. He moves closer, extending his gloved hand as if he wanted to comfort you, but he hesitates halfway and pulls back. His expression softens. When I make my breakfast next time, I can make you one too, if you want. I love that. Thank you, and I didn't mean to be nosy. But about what you told me. No, don't worry. I said too much, but I promise I'll answer anything you want to know. As long as you trust me, you'll be fine. He says in a voice that sounds less melodic and raspy. I think we're glitching out. That might be Slenderman. Suddenly the ringing in your ears become unbearable. For a moment you feel like your head is about to explode. A sharp pain that he also seems to feel. He just as his strange yellow glasses picks up an axe from the floor. Yes, I'll explain that too, when the time comes. I'm leaving for a while. I hope it won't be too long. For now, you're staying here. he says in a less animated voice, stronger and firmer. He walks towards the door, but before leaving, he stops and looks at you for a moment, as if he were thinking about something important. You watch him leave with his head lowered, drag his axe towards the room's only exit. I'm sorry, Wyan. Then he closes the door. You stop hugging your knees and sit on the edge of the bed as your heart begins to race. Something about this doesn't feel right. Fear slowly begins to consume you. A cold sensation creeps for your body. Furry feet to your head. Your hands start to tremble along with your jaw and lips. This is wrong. Crap. Frick. You had been planning to escape ever since you woke up. The fact that he locked you in makes everything more difficult. Panic overwhelms you. You jump out of the bed and run towards the door, but you can't open it. What are they going to do to me? I don't want to be here. Let me out of here. You feel an uncomfortable wave of terror consume you. Your heart pounds so violently, it feels like it could burst out of your chest. You look at your trembling hands, now starting to sweat heavily, just like your forehead. I'm so fricked. Please let me go. I don't want anything you want. I don't have anything you want. I'm too weak for labor, and my organs aren't even in good condition. But my lungs aren't. Because of the asthma, I don't even want to think about what's going to happen to me once he gets back. What did he mean when he said I would end up here sooner or later? Does that mean they already had me marked from before? You bring your hands to your head and press against it with your fingertips. You turn around and slowly walk back to the bed, sitting down. Oh, it's his room too. I wanted to die, yeah, but I didn't expect the universe to actually take me seriously. I mean, it never takes me seriously. So why now? And not all those times I wished for millions. Or a guy with huge tits. Well, we got Slenderman. I'll go for Slenderman over the guy with huge tits. All jokes aside, maybe the huge tits too. You were lost in your thoughts until you started looking around the room more carefully. Maybe I could find something that could help me get out of here. Like his axe. Because of your fear, you remain sitting on the bed for quite a long time. I'm just scared of doing something I might regret. I don't think those guys are stupid enough to leave me unsupervised for long and just leave a weapon lying around. Well, if they're waiting for me to do something so they can catch me, I can't risk that. I have to be smart. You wait a little longer, but the fear keeps consuming you. You don't know what to do. You don't want to sit there doing nothing, but you're also don't want to risk doing something that could get you into trouble. An old rusty axe. I never normally touch something covered in what probably is human blood, but an axe could be useful for breaking the door open, though I'm not sure I'll be able to use it with this energy. You pick up the blood-stained axe. It's heavy, but despite feeling weak, the intense pain in your arm, you manage to lift it. The dry blood smeared across the metal like watercolor paint and starts sticking to your skin. You can't tell whether it's disgusting or terrifying, or both. This thing is so heavy. You must have huge arms. Too bad he doesn't show them. You approach the door with the axe. If I could break it with this, might be able to escape. Your heart pounds rapidly. You're extremely nervous. Adrenaline courses through your veins, giving you the strength that you need for what you're about to do. You grip the handle with both hands, ignoring the trembling in your fingers. You pull your arms back to the side above your shoulder and take a deep breath. You only have a few chances. With all the noise, someone could become suspicious. You exhale slowly, and then you feel it starting to slip from your grasp because of the weight, combined with the excessive sweat covering your hand. Your eyes widen, and you bring the blow crashing down against the old wooden door. I think we just hurt him. Oh no. Well done. You just hurt the only person who made you breakfast. The only one in the last decade. Yeah, I'm sorry, Toby. What are you trying to do? The man stares at you while his hands continue bleeding like a waterfall. I didn't think you have a strength to carry it. You don't know why, but his voice sounds incredibly calm, as if he didn't care that you had hurt him. With his other hand, he removes the muzzle. His face bears a massive wound across his cheek, exposed part of the inside of his mouth along with his teeth. Even so, he still seems incredibly calm. How is it possible that he's so calm after I Ridley threw an axe at him? But I don't think you looked bad carrying it, he says with an awkward laugh. Tell the truth. I'm not the one who should be sorry. You think the best thing you can do is be honest. At least so far, that's what has helped to keep you alive. After you left me walk in here, I panicked. Just thinking that you were going to kill me or something even worse. It made me want to escape. I picked up the axe that was lying there to try to break the door down and get out. I'm really, truly sorry. Well, you kept explaining yourself. He had already grabbed some bandages and wrapped his hand. There was a coldness in his gaze. You knew he had screwed up. Once again, you watched him put on the muzzle back on. It's okay, I understand you don't trust me. But at the same time, I'm glad your escape attempt didn't work. If it had, you would have been in serious danger. If someone who doesn't recognize you finds you, you'll be dead. I think Sermon will save us. Even so, thank you for telling me. Please try not to do something like that again. He sounded disappointed. Well, I was given the order to take you to your room. I'd like to spend more time together. Suddenly, without your understanding why, expression and tone of voice changed into something more cheerful and lively. Since I was ordered to protect you while you were still out there, even now that you're here, I'll still take care of you. Then he quickly takes your hand and leads you out of his room. Back in your room with no real clue how you're going to kill all the time you'll be spending here. You sit down on the same old mattress you first woke up on. You still have this nagging urge to just run away, but I guess it's not all bad. At least I get free food and a roof over my head without having to work for it. Or at least not yet. And Slenderman, glancing back over to the desk, he noticed a single notebook he completely brushed off earlier is still sitting there. Why did they leave this here? You pick it up and start flipping through the pages, not really expecting anything remotely entertaining inside. But page after page, old memories suddenly begin to flood your mind. This looks a lot like a notebook I used to have back when I was a teenager. You look closer, and the exact same scribbles, the cringe-worthy sense of humor that literally no one found funny except you. This is my notebook. The hot brush creeps up your face, burning all the way to the tips of your ears. Please don't tell me someone actually read everything I wrote in here. It was supposed to be a research journal, but it's mostly just filled with complete random cringe nonsense. I remember saving a bunch of pages in the back to make a research profile on them. Sermon and Toby mostly. I guess since it's right here, I might as well keep going with this stupid investigation and finish what my 13-year-old self wanted to pull off. You can find your notes by clicking the notebook icon the main menu. You start examining the notebook with a lot more care now, reading through every single entry and staring at every doodle. Minutes sit by and you find yourself giggling out loud at every embarrassing thing you uncovered, just like you used to back then. End of chapter 2. Okay, now I'm gonna dodge the question. I'm really, truly sorry. You decided to avoid the question, and you said that while rushing to help him, or rather, trying to fix what you had just done. With the tear in your eyes, your lips tremble, You take hold of his hand, where blood is still pouring out his streams. You realize the wound is quite deep. Might need stitches. In your desperation, you look around everywhere, but you can't find the bandages. Horror paralyzes you, but at the sight of the blood, you act on instinct. You take off your pajama shirt and tear it apart with your teeth to make it improvised bandages. You kneel before him, taking his hand with both gentleness and firmness. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. Then you carefully look up, expecting to see anger or pain in his eyes, slowly begging you for his forgiveness. What the heck are you trying to do? His voice sounds a little deeper, raspier than it had a few hours ago. As he spoke with overwhelming nervousness, you could feel it through the trembling of his hand. You've left a little bewildered by his reaction, but he's still worried. So you take his arm and gently tug him along, guiding him towards the bed. As he sits down, you notice the fabric is still becoming damp from the blood slipping through, of course. The fabric of your pajamas was thin, so it wasn't very effective. Yet you were still willing to take off your shorts. Wait, there's bandages in the drawer, he said, pointing towards the dresser beside the bed while keeping his eyes slightly shut, and once again he put the muzzle back on. He crouched down slightly, opened the drawer, and managed to find the bandages. You take his hand once again and continue wrapping the wound tightly. To know whether you were doing it correctly, you lift your gaze towards him again, searching for any glimpse or pain or disapproval. Yeah, I think it's embarrassing from what we're doing to take off our shirt, wrapping it. But the only thing you can see is that the man blushing all the way up to his forehead. At one point, he realizes you're looking at him and gives a small jump. With that look on his face, he doesn't seem like the same guy who left hours ago carrying an axe and wearing a framed expression. Aren't you going to keep bandaging my hand? Without saying a word, you keep wrapping the bandages around his hand, even though it's no longer necessary. He sounded disappointed that you stopped wrapping his hand. You're Toby, right, aren't you? Yes. Once again, that cheerful voice, he sounded like a happy little puppy. You're not going to take anything off, right? No, he says in almost whisper, trying to look away from the bandages you tore from your own clothes. He sighs, and for the first time his gaze meets yours with a brutal honesty. Well, I was given an order to take you to your room, since I was ordered to protect you while you were still there. Even now that you're here, I'm still taking care of you. Don't try to escape again, please. It's not a threat. I just don't want anyone else to lay a hand on you. I'll leave you a radio. If anyone comes to bother you, please call me. Then you stood up. Toby walked ahead of you, constantly glancing back to make sure you were following him until the two of you finally reached your room. Finally, the boy left, closing the door behind him and leaving you alone in a cold, dark, and eerie room. I think that's the same ending. Yep. A loose cloth on the wall. You stand up and walk towards the wall near the exit. Manage spots poorly placed cloth covering the wooden panel. You're afraid of what you might find, but anything that could help you escape is worth it. You slowly uncover the wooden board, watching the Polaroid photos taped onto view photographs of different people. You carefully pull out the cloth, but you can't manage to remove it completely. It's us and Toby. With hearts. Okay, Toby, you're a bit yandere too. You recognize some of them immediately, while others take you a moment to remember. The horrible cold sensation returns, and you feel certain now. Every single photo belongs to someone who treated you badly. Okay, yeah, that's why it's called a session. All the creepypasta are yonder for us. Now it makes sense why you recognize their faces scattered throughout the center of town. A horrible feeling of guilt washes over you. You had felt happy seeing their faces printed on black and white photo posters across poles and street fronts, thinking it was some karma finally doing its job. But it seems like karma truly did have his face. And it was Toby, Ticci Toby. Your hand flies to your mouth and you collapse to your knees. And they died because of you? That we've been stalked by Ticci Toby? Yeah, not us, but because we have a yandere creepypasta. To your misfortune, you hear footsteps nearby. Someone stops right outside the door and begins opening it. No, get up! Okay, yeah, I do see a little bit that it's the those slashes might need to be removed. I know I know it's the Spanish like upside down exclamation. I don't actually know what it's called. It's a German. But I know when I see it. You can't give up now. Hide your mess. Then he walks in quietly, not seeming to notice you at first until he slowly turns towards where you are. Huh. Were you snooping around my room? Well, I can't really blame you. I locked you in here. And I snooped around your room too. But sadly, they wouldn't let me take anything. Yeah, I think you're very sad about that. I think you would want to take everything and move it into your room. Even with fear still gripping you, you look forward. You had to see that. I was ordered to keep you safe. Once again, his voice becomes softer, more lively, changing from one moment to the next, as if he had a switch that could alter his personality. Yeah, I don't think that was ordered to protect us. You don't have to thank me. A terrifying silence settles between the two of you. Fear and guilt consumes you. You don't know what to say. You just want to get out of here. There. Well, Slender said I should stop bothering you, so I had to take you to your room. I'm sorry. Back in your room. Okay, I think this is the same one. Okay, it's a different one. Back in your room with absolutely no idea how you're going to survive all this time, you sink onto that old mattress you first woke up on. Now, none of this makes any sense, and the confusion is eating you alive. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. You choke out for your sobs, dragging yourself over to the same table from this morning. Your eyes walk onto the notebook. What's this? You mutter, flipping through the pages after page, expecting to find it completely useless, but then, well, it's my own notebook from when I was a teen. I was lost ages ago. I think it's right after. Then it hits you. You used to be such a massive horror geek, reading creepypastas online and binge watching those old text-to-speech videos late at night. They lived in your head rent-free 24/7, and you were so obsessed that you actually started looking up ritual summons, Cleverbot, the fogged-up bathroom mirror, the pitch-black rooms. Suddenly the dots in your brain finally connect. Is this actually real? Like, they actually exist? No way. This notebook went missing right after I tried to summon Slenderman. He dropped back down on the mattress when he first woke up. I seriously thought that summoning ritual had flopped. You try to force yourself to remember more about that night, but it was a total blank. Your memory cuts off right at the exact moment you performed the ritual. I'm positive dead certain that the summoning didn't work, just like all the others, but I can't remember it failing at all. Because it didn't. With Ben, I tried Cleverbot. It glitched out a bit, but nothing creepy actually happened. I remember getting so ticked off about it. I tried to summon Jeff too. That was a total blast. I remember throwing all those candles in the trash while throwing a massive temper tantrum. Imagine a smile and a faint, hollow laugh. Remembering how incredibly cringe you were back then makes you shake your head. You didn't care about second-hand embarrassment at all. You were just living your best life. You kept down memory lane, tracing back all those ridiculous internet rituals. You vividly remember the exact steps for each one, and the crushing wave of disappointment when absolutely nothing happened. For sure, Ben actually got summoned. It was always this actor routine. With some, you gaslit yourself over the tiniest random noise just to feel like it worked, though deep down, you knew it was bullcrap. But Slenderman's ritual, that's the only one wrapped in complete amnesia. In fact, you can't even recall the actual steps nearly as well as theirs. Then, right on cue, like a virtual entity, invading your bloodstream and breaking down your last defenses, a deep booming voice echoes inside your head, dripping with absolute authority, yet dangerously calm. Yes, you were lucky that day. The summoning did not fail. The voice sounded so incredibly attractive, smutty, and sexy. You sealed your own doom. Oh no, did I? Or I did? I don't think I sealed my doom. I get Slenderman. A sharp glitch tears your mind. A massive blinding migraine that forces you to collapse back onto the bed, gripping your skull in agony. Tell me, are you pleased with the outcome? Yes, very pleased. I got Slenderman in my mind. You desperately wanted it to work, and you succeeded. Perhaps I should reward you for your persistent efforts. Pain scales up to a complete unbearable level. You scream and cry out in agony, but nobody is coming to save you. Hours drag by in a bore of nonstop torture. It really feels like a consciousness being dissected layer by layer. Even though I haven't seen you in flesh until now. I think Slenderman, are you forgetting the fact that you kind of did see us in flesh? In chapter 1. You know, you kind of teleport us in here. Do not fret, I will explain everything to you in due time. The excruciating age persists until your body slowly goes numb to it and you finally black out into sleep. You can find your notes by clicking the notebook icon in the main menu. End of chapter 2. A desk with tools. You walk over to the desk in front of you and begin looking around, noticing several things: a sharpener, pencils, half-aimed chips, a map with a pair of scissors stabbed onto it, and a radio. I think it's his next victim. I mean, we already saw his victim wall. People have done us wrong. You realize those scissors are stabbed onto the forehead of who it is or used to be your manager. Position exactly where your workplace is marked on the map. The scissors couldn't help me. You move closer, but you can't pull them out. It's only fitting to, after finding out his manager part, to go back and look at the loose cloth on the wall. And then skip until we find something. Until we find something different, or if we find something different. Nope. Though it might not change the outcome, I kind of want to know. Ask him about what he said. ... Nothing. Here. I don't think we have anything right here. He plays in a more fraying tone. It's just that his voice becomes stronger and firmer. Okay, I don't even know what you were saying, Toby. We just skip. Oh wait. If you don't trust me, can't guarantee your safety. And believe me, you don't want anything bad to happen to you here. So okay, I think. So I'm kind of happy I did check that out because, yeah, I don't think I saw any dialogue on that. So if you like my content, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Comment down below and like the video. See you guys next time.